My Z425 John Deere zero-turn mower flew apart the last time I was mowing. I had bought it in an auction and it did well for me, but it finally kicked the bucket. So I ordered a new motor. It just came yesterday. My old motor was a 445-577-0122-E1, and I couldn't really even find anything on the internet about that motor. But basically, the motor that I needed to replace it is this motor here, and it is 44S977-0032G1. I gotta unbox this one and check it out and make sure everything's okay with it, and then we'll be putting it together. Here's the old engine. As you can see, that hole right there is not supposed to be there. So yeah, the critical parts of the motor that have to transfer is obviously your hole patterns and your shaft size. For future reference, in case you have a problem with your motor and you're looking for the model of your motor, the model numbers are right here usually on these Briggs motors on the valve cover, and so they're not stamping them as much into them. Those are really light. I don't know if you can even see them, but on this older one, it's on the other side right now, but they were stamped in there, so they were pretty easy to find once you knew where to look. Yeah, right there. So that's the old motor number, and then this is the new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be transferring, oh shoot, some oil's coming out again. I'm going to be transferring the exhaust pipes and possibly a few of the like the throttle assembly. This new motor has an automatic choke, so I don't think I'm going to transfer that right now. I think I'm just going to see how the automatic choke works, but for now, yeah, I'm going to work on getting these pipes switched over and see what else I need to do. Alright, how this bolts on is you got 3 bolts that come in from the bottom here. 1, 2, 3 that holds the motor on, and then this one here actually is a bolt that goes through, and then a nut on the top, and a couple of these battery connections go onto that bolt. So we're going to get these tightened up and then do whatever's next. These here, I started with a tap. I did tap them lightly before I put the motor on here, just to make sure these bolts get a good start, but I don't think you're actually supposed to tap them at all. The bolts just make their own path through the aluminum. It's pretty soft. Okay, so I got the motor bolted in. I hooked up a few of the wires, the connectors. I think the motor comes with no oil, so I'm gonna have to put oil in, obviously, before I test it. Next, I'm gonna hook up the electronic clutch to the shaft and the pulley that I believe goes above it. And then once we get it all hooked up and get everything together and get some oil in it, I'll probably start the engine and make sure everything works okay, so I don't get it all back together and find out there's a problem. Alright, we're going to fire it up before we get everything back together and make sure it runs and there's no major problems. Just put oil in. We actually turned the key and it did turn just a little bit, so I think we'll give it a shot. It's gonna be a little loud too because the muffler's not on yet. Alright, so that was good. I'm going to double check the oil before I just keep running it and finish putting everything back together, and then get the muffler on there and see how it does. We got the muffler back on, and so we're going to start it up and just see if it's quieted down since we got that on there. Beautiful! Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Beautiful. It's hot too. Beautiful and hot. We're putting the guards back on right now. And up to this point, it has been so simple. This new motor has basically just fit like a glove and just went right together. So I am very happy with the outcome so far. So we got the guards back on, we got the motor all bolted down, all the wiring right. We've tested it. The only thing that's yet to do is somehow I am missing one nut, which is not a bad scenario considering, but I have to find that, or find one that will work for that, because it goes right here and it holds the side of this tight. Not a huge deal, but we definitely want to put a nut on there. So I'm just going to look around and see if I can find it. Okay. I would like to personally thank, if I could, OPE Engines. They're the ones that I got the engine from. And what was crazy was I ordered it, and within an hour they called me to verify that I had the right motor, replacement motor, because there's so many different model numbers. I did have the right motor, but they just verified it and chatted with me, and then within a week the motor came, and it was literally just a swap out, and we're mowing again.